The sun barely peeks over the rooftops of Crestwood Estates, casting long golden streaks across my backyard. The crisp morning air hums with the distant chirping of birds, a peaceful melody disrupted only by the rhythmic breathing of my K9 partners, Ace and Titan. They sit at my feet, waiting for my command. Stay, I whisper, my voice firm yet calm. Their ears twitch, their eyes locked onto me with unwavering focus. Training police K9S requires discipline, patience, and trust, qualities I've cultivated in both my dogs and myself. I stretch, taking a moment to appreciate the stillness before the day begins. Life here should be tranquil. I moved into this suburban neighborhood 3 years ago, a black homeowner in a predominantly white, HOA-run community. The stares and whispers had been subtle at first, but over time, they turned into passive-aggressive emails and petty HOA complaints. Grass is a quarter-inch too high. Your security cameras are an eyesore. Your dogs look intimidating. I ignored most of it, choosing to focus on my work. I train K9S for law enforcement, a job that demands precision and resilience. But deep down, I knew the real issue had nothing to do with my grass or my cameras. It had everything to do with the color of my skin. A sharp bark from Ace jolts me from my thoughts. His stance is rigid, ears perked. Something isn't right. Titan mirrors his tension, nostrils flaring as they both stare toward the fence lining my yard. I step closer, my boots crunching against the dewy grass. My fence, a sturdy, custom-built structure designed to keep my highly trained dogs contained, stands tall and unyielding. But then I see it, a fresh, clean cut in the wood. The jagged edge catches the morning light, a stark contrast against the aged, weathered planks. My chest tightens. Someone had been here. Someone had deliberately sliced through my fence. I scan the yard, my gaze narrowing as I spot something else. A small gap near the bottom of the fence, just big enough for a dog to slip through. My gut twists. This wasn't just vandalism. This was deliberate. I kneel, running my fingers along the raw edge. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. It wasn't a random act of destruction. It was a calculated move. A familiar voice interrupts my thoughts. Morning. I turn to see Karen Whitmore standing on her pristine porch across the street, her arms folded over her cashmere sweater. Her blonde bob is perfectly styled, her expression a blend of faux concern and thinly veiled contempt. Looks like you've got a problem with that fence, she says, sipping her overpriced coffee. I hope your pets didn't get loose. That could be dangerous. I hold her gaze, my jaw tightening. Her tone is sweet, but the implication is razor-sharp. Ace lets out a low growl. I already know. This wasn't a coincidence. And Karen? She knows exactly what happened. I just don't know why, yet. The next morning, I find a neatly folded letter stuffed into my mailbox. No stamp, no return address. Just a single sheet of paper with bold, black letters. Aggressive breeds are not welcome here. Consider rehoming them before an accident happens. My fingers tighten around the paper. My heart pounds, a mixture of rage and unease settling deep in my gut. An accident? I glance over at Ace and Titan, who stand by my side, tails low, sensing my tension. I take a slow breath, my mind racing. This is more than just passive-aggressive HOA nonsense. This is a threat. I scan the street. Karen's porch is empty, but I swear I see a curtain shift in one of the second-floor windows. Watching. Always watching. That afternoon, I install new locks on the fence and reinforce the weak spots. I even set up an additional security camera angled directly at the compromised section. If someone tries this again, I'll have proof. But that night, as I sit on my porch sipping tea, my dogs at my feet, something moves in the shadows near the fence line. Ace's ears perk. Titan lets out a low, rumbling growl. I narrow my eyes, standing slowly. Then I hear it. A whisper, barely audible over the breeze. They don't belong here. A rustling sound, followed by quick, retreating footsteps. My pulse spikes. I rush down the steps, but by the time I reach the fence, whoever was there is gone. I check the cameras. Nothing but shadows. But I know what I heard, and I know what it means. This isn't over. Here's the setup for your story. Immersive, suspenseful, and foreshadowing a major conflict. Let me know if you'd like any tweaks before moving on to the next section.